Hi everyone, today I'm here with the subject tag, which was started by Rachel Reviews All, and I was kindly tagged by Shout Amy. Thank you so much for tagging me because this looks like a fantastic tag. I'm really excited to do it. Basically, the idea of this tag is the fact that we've got 7 school subjects and we have to assign books to each one. There's different genres and categories that we can choose. Even though I've just broken up from school because it's now the school holidays, let's get back into the school spirit. Let's actually think about these subjects and assign books to each single one. So the first subject that we have is maths, and to be honest, when I had to do maths, I hated it. It was so tedious. It wasn't really hard, it was just annoying. But anyway, this is a crime novel, and I don't actually have a lot of crime novels because for some reason I don't read them a lot. Even though there are loads of crime novels when you go into bookstores, I just don't really read them. But I managed to find one, which is I Hunt Killers by Barry Lyga. Not sure how to say his name, but you know, it's there if you want to see it. My sister actually went to France last week and she managed to buy this book, so it's actually the French edition, which is really exciting. So much French language in here. Yeah, I'm really excited to read this one. I don't know, I think it's a crime novel. It sounds like it is, something to do with hunting killers. So possibly it is a crime novel. The next subject is science. Again, like maths, I found this quite tedious as well. It was very uncreative, and I just didn't like the fact that we sort of had to memorise stuff out of the textbook and recite it in the exam. That's not the kind of subject that I like, and of course, however, this is a science fiction novel, so when we're talking about books, it makes the subject fantastic. And the book I've chosen is Unwind by Neal Shusterman. I read this towards the end of last year. I loved it, loved the idea of being unwound, sort of getting rid of organs and stuff. It was very in-depth, very crazy and fantastic. I just really enjoyed this book. Definitely one I'd recommend if you haven't read it already. Subject number 3 is one that I actually really like. It is English literature. Hooray for literature, one of my favourite subjects. Of course, I'm studying it for A-level, so clearly I do enjoy it. Of course, in English literature, we have to study a lot of classics, and the classic that I've chosen for this one is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Brontë. I love this classic. It's probably my favourite classic of the year so far. I just loved learning about Jane Eyre's life. It was just so good to read. This is even related to what I'm studying right now in English literature because we have to write a comparative essay, and one of the books that I've chosen is Jane Eyre. The next subject is art, and for this one we have to select a beautiful cover, and of course I have a lot of beautiful covers and beautiful editions, and a lot of the books in this tag could have been the answer for this one. However, I've decided to choose Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom because this cover, everyone, is amazing. I just love the design of it. It just looks great. The colours and everything work well. The spine's beautiful as well, and the back has some really creepy pictures on, so that is fantastic. It's definitely a very, very beautiful cover, and I just can't wait to read this book. Hopefully, I will really enjoy it. Subject number 5 is languages. Languages. I love languages. Of course I love languages. They're my favourite subject, my main subjects. Spanish, French, languages, just so much fun. I love languages, I find them so fascinating. If I could take like even more language subjects, I would. If there was an option to study 10 language subjects, I would probably take them all because I just enjoy them so much. So for this one we have to select a translated novel, and I've chosen Royale by Koushun Takami. I love this book. I read the previous translation last year, and then this is the new edition with the newly translated one. I just can't wait to reread this and sort of see what this newly translated version is like, because I really love the goriness, the graphicness. I always put ness onto the end of every single word. Subject number 6 is history, and for this one I have to select historical fiction. This could have also been the answer for the previous book, so think about what it could be. I mentioned it quite a lot. It's definitely one of my favourite books, and it is The Shadow of the Wind by Ruiz Zafón. Originally written in Spanish, then translated into English, been translated into so many other languages as well. This is historical fiction because it's set 6 years after the Spanish Civil War, which is something that I found very interesting. I really enjoyed sort of seeing how Spain was affected by the war. I've recently been studying a little bit more about that in Spanish as well, so I've sort of connected with it more and sort of understood it even more. I can't wait to reread this one and sort of see what I think now I have a more in-depth knowledge of the Spanish Civil War. It's such a good book. It's about books. It's a book about books, you know, how can you not want to read it? The 7th and final subject in this tag is geography, and for this one we have to select a novel that's set somewhere else other than the USA or the UK. And for this one I've selected oh my gosh, I forgot the name of it. Why did I forget the name? It was like right in front of me. And the Mountains Echoed by Khaled Hosseini, because this is full of geography. The characters travel around all over the place. It's fantastic. I know there's Paris in this book, there's Afghanistan, San Francisco as well. There's Greece, I think there's an island in Greece in this book. I always love Khaled Hosseini's writing style. I also love his characters. They're always very in-depth. You can always relate to them and emote with them. He's just a fantastic storyteller. Definitely I would recommend this book, but I would recommend all of his books. They're all so amazing. They're very moving as well. So everyone, that is it for today's subject tag. I really enjoyed doing it. It was great to dive back into the school spirit and select books for these subjects. Of course, though, when you apply books to everything, things are just fantastic and you can't complain about anything. But anyway, I'm not going to ramble anymore to end the video. I always ramble when I'm ending videos. Anyway, thank you for watching and see you all again in my next video.